Welcome to another episode of Smitty Snippets. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Uh, as you can see, my sister's not here tonight. But Casanova Frankenstein is here, so I'm gonna bring him up. What's going on, man?
Yeah,
How you doing?
what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I keep looking at the wrong spot for this camera. That's good though.
It's like
That's
I'm
good.
doing good too. No adult supervision. Chris is off doing Chris things. Shout out to her. We'll see her. I guess she'll be back on for the Thursday show, and I'll see her next week on stream. But for now, she not here. Mom
My
is
lovely
off.
sister is away on a business trip, doing big things. Big things.
Nope.
Wait, wrong button. There you go. That's the one. That's the one. I don't know if anybody heard anything. It was supposed to be applause. I don't know if the sound is messed up. So some of you might be looking at me and wondering why I'm in this different type of setup. Well, I'll tell you why. Because my basement flooded. That's why. So I had to take everything out and move everything upstairs. And there are a million wires all over the place. And I can't be certain that everything is hooked up correctly. So you just gonna have to bear with me for like another week. But other than that,
we'll find out if the show goes on, if something blinks on or blinks off. Technical difficulties happen.
that's it. So just to let y'all know, my sister is the responsible one. I'm very irresponsible. I don't do anything on time. Nothing. So we could run overtime. We could just talk about one thing the entire time. There's really you never know what I'm gonna do. So without further ado, let's just get started. Chris, I'm sorry.
Right.
I apologize in advance because I know I'm gonna mess something up.
She'll be all right.
All right. So the first, is there anything you want to say before we get started?
No. It's like I'm happy for the non-adult supervision. Like flying by the seat of our pants just seemed the way to go. Chaos builds character,
I
and
love
let's
chaos.
see what happens.
That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, Chris. All right, so with the announcement of the Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars in production, there's been increased chatter, speculation about the return of legacy characters. Scarlett Johansson was recently asked about a possible return to the MCU during an interview with Vanity Fair, and her answer was as follows. I miss my buddies, and I would really love to be with them forever, but her story is complete. I don't want to mess with that. So, what do you think, Casanova? Would you like to see the Widow do it all over again?
No, because I like her sister better. So she can get up out the paint, rest in peace, just chill out. It's like I don't need to see ScarJo come back in any kind of capacity. It's like I still got mixed feelings of RTJ coming back as a version of Doctor Doom. I don't need Steve Rogers back. Cap coming out of retirement to throw the shield one more time. It's like I'm cool with those character stories being buttoned up and signed away. It's like and then put away. It's like you're already gonna get Thor and Hulk back because they ain't got nothing else to do. So they're gonna be back in this flicks again, and you probably see Ant-Man, the Star Lord showing up. So and that's
The
fine.
one
That's
character I
enough.
don't want to see.
Which one?
That's the one
Ant-Man
Ant Man.
or
Ant Man.
or Star Lord?
Nobody wants to see Ant Man.
Might be a heist. Might need him. It was like he's good for a heist. Give me a heist and Ant Man, that's fine. But
Nah,
having Ant Man
nah,
fight Kang the Conqueror
nah.
is like, oh, I'm good. So you'll probably
I'd re-
see him again, and some of the others. But it's like give me some of the other characters on screen or new characters that may be introduced in these films. I'd be happy with that, but I don't need to see the constant rehashing. It's like I get the dopamine hit that folks get. It was like, oh, they're back. It was like good for them. It's like, no, I'm good on that. Well, what are you thinking? You want to see her back or some of the other characters back?
I would love to see ScarJo come back. I really did enjoy her character. Now I do. I enjoy Yelena as well. She's a fantastic character. I did not think she'd be able to fill the shoes of ScarJo, but she has, and she's done an amazing job. So, but I still would like
Mm-hmm.
to see her come back. I wish they had not um, killed her, even though I really enjoyed watching Lena. I mean, it's going to sound kind of dark, but I really like watching Lena suffer with the
Yeah.
death of her sister. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I hear that. It was like because it's like, you had that. It gave her character some depth a little bit. It gave Hawkeye a little bit more to do and some depth. So, which I don't think you would have got killing him and then had his brother coming after Scarlet Witch or so. I mean, coming after Black Widow. I don't think that would have been the same. I don't think it would have been the same. So, I think they made the right choice of who they killed off in Avengers. So that works, but it's like anything else. It's like we'll see. It's like I personally think that she might be lying. That was like because of the Marvel, Disney NDAs and everything else that she might actually be back in some kind of capacity and just can't talk about it. So you might see her in some clip or some quick thing, and it's just like, oh damn, she came back. So I'm hoping not, but
So
we'll see.
I mean, I'm with you. I understand. I don't want to see her. I guess I mean I hate prequels, but I mean if you're going to bring her back, that's the only way. I don't want to see her come back to life. Like I don't want to see any of that bullshit. Like that, I'm done with that.
Yeah,
Right? I don't
I
want
was
to
like,
see
they're
any.
gonna be
Oh,
doing,
oh, I disappeared. I'm back now. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. So
yeah.
if they could just
It was like
if they could just
they
keep
doing some
moving,
Yeah, it was like if they doing some multiversal weirdness and she shows back up, it was like I'll take it on the chin, but I don't want to see that version of Black Widow that's dead. I don't want to see her back. It was like I'd rather she
wow,
stay dead, and if you come back as some, it's like, oh, I'm the Black Widow from 1942. I was like, maybe that's fine, but it was like, in all honesty, ScarJo, rest in peace, Black Widow. Fight those dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. You'll be all right.
disrespectful. So no Black Widow, no Captain America. Anybody else?
No. No, I mean
You
it's
good with
like
that?
those two they took their pass. Yeah, it's like those two took their, that's it. It was like everybody else is like you're gonna get White Vision, you're gonna see him. So it was like from
White
friggin'
Vision?
after years of after what the hell was it? WandaVision and everything else, you're gonna see the different version of Vision show up somewhere. So it's like he's probably gonna show back up, but other than that, it's like, Scarlet Witch is probably the only character that quote unquote died and may come back that I would be kind of interested in seeing back. But that would be it.
Dennis Wright says, "Zombie Black Widow, not unheard of. Absolutely not. You will not do the widow that way. You are not you are not doing her that way. We're not doing
Like
that.
she coming
Okay,
back,
we're not doing that.
she coming back crunching on brains. Maybe
Take
I
it
could say
back.
that.
Take it back.
It's like, but other than that,
You could take Ant Man. You could take Ant Man. You could take the White Wolf. You can take him. You know what I'm saying? He's like a governor now or something. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see retired superheroes just doing BS stuff. You know, running for office and shit. I don't want to see that. You know, you fighting crime.
well,
You know, you fighting crime.
well, gotta have a side hustle. Gotta have a side hustle. There's like can't fight
So
crime 24/7. It's like you need a 9 to 5. So 9 to 5. I'm governor. It's like Moon Knight running a bodega.
no,
Then he shut it down. Then go back outside. Peter Parker, he
no,
got a job taking pictures. It's like trying to
no.
sell photographs in this day of the internet. So it's like, would you do it? Got to have those
Moon
nine
Knight.
to five jobs.
So yeah, I think it's time to move on. I would
Yep.
really like to see them move
Well,
on. If there was anybody that was going to come back, it'd be for me. It'd be ScarJo or Cap, and
yeah. I think you might get a version
that's
of
just what
Cap,
it is.
but yeah,
All
I was
right.
like, I think you'll get a version of Cap and the other thing, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm
Okay.
willing to let him
All
cook. I'm
right.
willing to listen to him for now.
Did fairly good with that. I feel like I'm an adult right now. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Moving on to the next thing. See, I'm adulting right now. You know,
Mm. Sometimes
right?
adult is good. Most times it's not.
Remakes. Originally posted by Screen Rant. While there are several classic sci-fi movies that have earned remakes over the years that disappointed a few remakes beat the odds and actually turn out better than the originals. This is not just limited to sci-fi, as there have been movies in other genres that have been remade to varying degrees of success. Can you name any movies where you feel the remake was better than the original, sci-fi or otherwise?
Yes, I can. One of those, probably the best remake that I have seen to date from the original, is probably going to be The Thing. That had Kurt Russell and Keith David in it. So that one is probably the better remake that I saw. Like when I had seen that, and then found out it was a remake, then went and sought out the original to watch that, and I was like, oh, all respect to the original, but this is trash. It was like the remake was way better. So, and that was probably David Carpenter's best movie. So it's like I would definitely go with The Thing as probably number one. Number two, not sci-fi wise, but the number two remake that I felt was better than the original was Ocean's 11, easily. Because like Frank Sinatra and them just looked like they got on set, got drunk, said whatever they was going to say, and they just shut. And it's like, well, it's Frank, so you can't tell him no, and that's it. Ocean's 11 seemed a bit more coherent. So, and that was a more fun movie for me. Let's see, what else? I give you another one, Dread with Keith Urban was way better than Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd. It was like I enjoyed that a lot. And then I would
Judge
go War of the
Dredd?
Worlds, I think. Yeah, it's like Judge
Are you
Dredd
okay?
Sylvester Stallone. No,
Judge
it's like Judge
Dredd.
Dredd Sylvester Stallone was terrible, but Dredd with Keith Urban was what Carl Urban? Yeah, Carl Urban, that was really good. Dredd was great. It was like, and Sylvester Stallone was trash. And then I'd
Okay.
probably say War of the Worlds after that for a top, just to get five. The War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise was better than the Orson Welles War of the Worlds, I felt.
I'd have to agree with some of that. The War of the Worlds was pretty good. Of course, I didn't really pay attention too much to the old school one, but
And
the
I
Tom
had seen
Cruise
the
one
old
was
school one. Yeah, Tom Cruise one's good. I think the only reason I saw the old school War of the Worlds is because, like, I think it was my mom or it might have been my dad that told me when they did the radio play, um,
yeah,
people was freaked out because they thought it was real when
yeah.
it was on the radio. And I was like, they freaked out from this, and then they turned it into a movie. And then I saw that movie, and I was like, no. And then I saw War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, and I was like, oh, it's all right. But we need to go back. It was like, did you like the Judge Dredd Sylvester Stallone one?
No, I didn't like none of them. I ain't like none
Oh,
of them.
you ain't like Dredd? It was like,
Nah, they was
oh,
all
it
silly.
was so
It was
good.
all silly. They was all silly. They was weird. I am the law. What? Shush. Shut it. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Mm.
No, they that's my brother's reference right there. But no, I think I thought he was kind of corny, uh, personally. You know,
Mm.
um, it's just one dude wearing all this ished. You know what I'm saying? He dressed down. You know, and he I didn't like Dread, but I understand some people. I understand some people did. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You enjoyed the new fresh version of the thing than you did the like early night was it 90s, early 90s, late 80s.
Well, the thing, 1982, John Carpenter had Kurt Russell, um, what was it? Keith David, and who else? Crap. It was a couple of different actors in that, but John Carpenter did it, and I think that was like 1982, 1983. I enjoyed that better than the original one from I think the 50s. Now,
Dennis
whatever the remake they did of that was in the 90s, I saw that and that was trash. That was like, but the 1982 version of the thing was way better than the original one was.
I don't know. The original was I mean to me it was pretty good. I at least to me anyway. It scared the shit out of me. I ain't even gonna lie.
Black and white,
Dennis Wright
black and
says,
white one,
what?
the thing, the black and white version of the thing
Oh no
scared
no
you
no
because
no
that was
no
the
the
original. The one
no
you
not
talking
that
about
one.
is probably the same one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, the one
Like
with
it was
the Kirk
Kurt
Russell.
Russell, and
Yeah,
yeah, the one I'm talking about. Yeah,
but they
that's the
made
one.
one after that.
Yeah, that one was trash. I didn't like that
Oh,
one.
okay. All right, so we on the same page. Dennis Wright says, "Heaven can wait." Starsky and Hutch, Land of the Lost, and The Fly. Dennis, I'm gonna ask you a question right now, Dennis.
I'll
Dennis.
give him Starsky and Hutch.
Dennis.
I was like, I'll give him Starsky and Hutch.
Dennis, how old are you, Dennis? Because I remember that. I remember those shows. First of all, Heaven Can Wait. No, I, I remember it, but like that was even like before me. Like I just started reading and writing when that shit came on. You know what I'm saying? So Heaven
Dennis
Can
probably as
Wait.
old as Chris, like 65.
And that's what's up. I mean, he the other ones I remember, which is sad, but I do remember.
Yeah.
Tech Summit says,
Then
"Wait, the Thing prequel."
I'm talking
Oh,
1982. The Thing. It's like if you want to call that a prequel to whatever they remade in the late 90s, early 2000s, then that's fine. But that remake was way better.
Vincent Price's The Fly still haunts me. Says Lisa writes. Yeah, yeah. There are a few moments in movies like that that like mess me up. Like listening to that little fly at the end.
Mm.
Help me! Like at the end of that movie.
That messed me up. I like I I didn't know what to do with that. So yeah. Let's see. What are mine? I gotta go with The Thing. Thing is an excellent remake. Um, I can't really think of anything like off the cuff right now. I should probably start studying before I do these shows, man. Because I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. You know, I'm drawing a blank. I can't. I mean, give me some examples of stuff that was remade. Like I can't. I'm out. I
Like I
got nothing.
think, let's see, what was it? Like I think I saw something that Heat was a remake of something else Michael Mann did, and whatever that was, I ain't even heard of what the hell that was that he had done. So I couldn't even comment on that. Dawn of the Dead that Zack Snyder redid, that remade from
Dawn of
the
the Dead. Yeah.
original.
Red
That
Dawn.
one I did like. Yeah, it was like you had the Red Dawn that was done. It was like I'm not gonna like. I guess Roadhouse most recently, but I did not like that
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I
You
like the
didn't like
prequel
that?
to Roadhouse. I didn't like it. I like parts of it, but on the whole, I didn't like it. And like, I wish they would have got an actor that could fight instead of putting Conor McGregor in it.
I mean,
But it's
everybody
like I
likes seeing
liked
Connor.
him. Like, no, it was like I liked it. I was hoping he could act, but he can't. And it was just like, all right, so he's there, and that's fine. But it was like I liked him being an MMA guy instead of just some bouncer that was just roaming the world cleaning up bars. So that was cool. But other than
I
that,
mean
it's like I like parts of it.
that's
That
the
was it.
movie. That's the
Yeah,
movie.
but
He,
Patrick
he's
Swayze wasn't. He was just like he was just a drifter, clean up bar and go ahead instead of a disgraced MMA guy. And just like, oh, I killed a guy in the ring. I'm sad about it. It's like I'm gonna be sad about it. It was
with a
like
lot of
Patrick Swayze
roundhouse
just
kicking,
in.
a lot of roundhouses.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze's like, yeah, I ripped a guy's throat out one time, but I don't let that get me down. I just practice some yoga and I'll be all right. He just kept it moving. So
See that
it
mullet
was like
swinging
all
around?
right,
You better get out of the way. You better duck. You
right.
see that mullet swinging?
See this mullet
Yeah.
swinging, and he say something like "pain don't hurt." I was like, "Oh, all right, I'm not fighting this guy because something's wrong with him. Obviously, something's wrong with this dude."
So I only saw. I think I watched a little bit of Roadhouse back in the day, and then I was like, put on something else.
Movie, the
Just
movie is
found
a
something else.
classic.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
it's just
something stupid,
ridiculous.
like The Pyramid or Price is Right or some shit. Like I don't know. I wasn't much for them old movies like that. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that and Dirty Dancing and Ghosts that type of stuff. Like I
Mm.
couldn't get into no movies. I'm like ah
Yes, I
ah.
saw Ghost in college for free, and I wanted my money back because I did not like that movie at all. It
He
was
want
like it
his
was just
money
one of the
back.
things. Like what? It was like what is this? It was like that, and Pretty Woman was another one that I saw, and I was just like no. I was like no.
Pretty
It
Woman.
was
So
like
you
I'm not
probably
buying none of this.
when I was younger, all them corny movies used to come out um during the summer, like Mannequin. You remember Mannequin
Mhm. Yeah, I
and
remember that.
Weird Science?
I remember that. It was like
Yeah,
and like that's one of those movies that sci-fi can't get and IFC can't get enough of. It's like we're gonna have Weird Science Month where we're gonna show this every other day. And I was just sitting there, it's like, no. It was like, no. I don't need to see these doofuses trying to create. Oh, we accidentally created this woman. She's going to give us everything we ever wanted. They're like, no, this is not how
yeah,
life works.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, they were bad movies. You know what I'm saying? But they were,
Yeah.
we were young and stupid, so
Mm.
entertainment was
No,
just dumb
I,
back then.
it was like, I
All
was
right,
still
all right.
like, this is dumb. I hate it.
Moving on to the next
Oh,
thing.
God.
See, Chris, we doing it, huh? I'm being responsible. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing things, right? I'm gonna keep. I'm chugging along here. I'm reading stuff and asking questions. You'd be proud if you was here, but you're not. So, all right, next. After a successful debut with the NFL on Christmas, Netflix is looking for more opportunities that it can make an event must-see viewing. Netflix is hoping to add even more games beyond the 2 games that it will be broadcasting on Christmas. This could mean Friday or Saturday games, possibly international games. Previously, the NFL said that it would not. Are these different subjects? All right, we'll stop. Stop right there, and then I'll go to the next one. So, what do you think of Netflix airing more NFL games?
No, no. It was like, that's enough. It was like, it's because they going to be airing games on Christmas. First Christmas was always the NBA. So then it's like they would have their games, and you would watch a couple of basketball games, just throw it on ABC or whatever it was, and then just unwrap presents, eat some food. The games was on. Now I got to turn on Netflix too to watch some football, and then the football game's probably not going to be good because it's probably going to be is like here's the Chargers against the Browns. It was like, and then ain't nobody going to see that because their season's going to be over by Christmas time anyway. So what are we doing? What are we doing? It was like, and it's like, if you don't have Netflix, it was like, I'm going to my mom's house and maybe she don't have Netflix. Then it's like, Mom, you ain't got Netflix. I got money on the games. I mean, I'm here for the family and for some dinner and fun times, but I got to watch the games with my fantasy football team. I'm in the playoff. So it's just a lot. They add stuff between them and Amazon. It's like you almost have to have a streaming service to even just watch sports now. And then if you don't have it, it's enough. It's like y'all had 2 games. Y'all got wrestling on Mondays, and then y'all gonna throw commercials on top of that. It'd be different if I ain't have to deal with commercials, I think. But having to deal with commercials and the games on top of it's just too much. It's like, no, y'all got 2. I'm annoyed, but fine. Now y'all want to add 3 games where y'all want to throw a game on a Wednesday night. And it was like Wednesday. It's like it's Wednesday. Why am I watching football on a Wednesday? It was like it don't need to be on every. Just stop it. Just stop it.
I
Remember
I don't know why they have
back
to
in the
mess with a
day, The
good
Last
thing.
Boy Scout, the whole plot of that
Yeah,
movie. Yeah.
yeah.
The whole plot of the movie of The Last Boy Scout was gambling. It was like, and then the NFL was like, oh, there'll never be any gambling. Now there's gambling all over the place for all of the sports. Then they were saying at one point the NFL was like, no, we're not going to go to cable and streaming services. That's ridiculous. We'll stay. Now they all over this. I was like, the next time the NFL says they're not going to something, I'm putting money on that. It was like, how long is it going to take them to go to the thing they said they wasn't doing?
I mean, it's the same question you could say. I mean, it's the same response you could say for anything else. Like, how much is enough? You know, how much is enough? You want it all, or do you want to just let people live? You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. The NFL is unbelievably rich, and so is Netflix. To be honest with you, and
Yeah, it was like,
I know Netflix got I know Netflix is rich because of making moves like this, right? they made the move instead of Blockbuster. Netflix stepped up instead of putting out CDs in a vending machine. They wanted to do a deal with Blockbuster, and Blockbuster turned them down because they thought they had the market cornered. And Netflix was the first one to go digital, and Blockbuster just kind of stupid, just stayed where they was at. So Netflix is smart. I'll give them that, but I don't know, man. It just feels like they just keep bleeding people dry. It doesn't matter how much you got. If you got $10, they want 11. It's just I don't know, man.
Right. It's like
I just feel like they at some point they got to stop. You know what I'm saying? NFL is free. It was free. Then they started putting games on Amazon Thursday night games, right?
It's terrible because it's like the Amazon feed is waking up. It was like I can't get the feed to get steady. It was like at least with Netflix, they figured out after their Tyson boxing thing, which I think was still just an experiment to see if they could actually do a live event. And they added more servers. And Amazon is like, no, we don't need to add no more servers. It's all right. You just break up every now and again. I'm like, my internet connection is not terrible. Why is this constantly buffering and breaking up? It was like, what is going on? I can't watch this game, and it gets frustrating. I end up having to turn that off. So it's like, and I got games on Amazon because NFL Network said, no, we're not going to show games until later. It's just, it's enough. It was like, that's enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm tapping out.
I hope they do better. I feel like at some point they're going to have to because you can only take so much money from people. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then they're not going to have. They ain't going to have shit left. Nothing. And they ain't going to have nothing to give you. So I don't know. That's a sore spot for me. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. I don't understand people, man. You can still be rich and take people's money and have that cash cow for the rest of your life, or you can take all that goddamn money and not have nothing in the end because you done ran them out. You got nothing left.
Right.
Because you know people ain't responsible.
No.
You know people ain't responsible. Bunch of dummies out here doing dumb stuff. Swag. All right, I'm moving on. I'm trying to be responsible. And keep it PG over here for the kiddies, just in case there's kiddies watching. All right, continuing on that subject. Previously, the NFL said that it would not play any games that fell on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Oh, they got standards in 2023.
They had standards for a year. They lying.
In 2024, they had 2 games on Christmas Day. Now they are looking to play 3 games on Christmas Day. Well, shit, why don't you play 17? Just play 17. You know, why stop at 3? You know what I'm saying? Why stop? Why stop there? Just play all 17 on Christmas Day.
And an NFL game lasts like 3 hours. So you're going to do 3. So that's 9 hours of football, which is fine. But it's like, where are you going to put them? It was like all those games that have to be back to back, and you'd have to start those games at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They just gotta stop. They gotta get their act together. So, forget the NFL, man. Again, it's sore for me. One day we're gonna talk about this, but not today. trying to be responsible. Trying to be responsible. I want to know how I'm doing this for you now. Trying to be an adult. All right. Hollywood has been mining content from video games and comic books more and more and trying to build tentpole franchises instead of offering more diverse fare as what they seemed to do years prior. Many folks had no idea whom Iron Man, a C-tier character at best, was 20 years ago, and now he's one of the more beloved characters in cinema. I 100% agree. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it was like with going to all of these other things. It was like ain't nobody know who Iron Man was. It was like I read comics back in the day. Surprise, surprise! I knew who Iron Man was, and they said they was doing an Iron Man movie, and I like my first thought was, well, yeah, because Marvel sold Spider-Man to Sony and the X-Men to Fox, so they ain't got nothing else. So they did an Iron Man movie, and it worked horribly well. And they was able to build off of that. Well, that's good, but ain't nobody know who Iron Man was when they went to see that movie the first time. They was like, Iron Man, I don't know who this is. And now everybody knows he's like a household name now. So then that works out. I was
You're
like, I
right.
don't know if it's like, and it was the same thing with, kind of new folks, I think kind of knew Captain America was, but he was on that same C tier list. Thor was there too. It was like probably the better known of all of them was probably the Hulk. And that's only because he had that cartoon in the 80s that came on after Spider-Man. So it's like, so you knew who he was, but it was like most of those characters' popularity benefited more from the movies, from them folks knowing them from like the comics and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody was more familiar with the DC characters: Batman, Superman,
Yeah,
Flash, Wonder Woman, all those. And
right.
they had been run out. Actually, no, because Wonder Woman came along after Iron Man and all of them had been introduced. But you're right. I didn't know anything about Iron Man. Nothing. And
Hmm.
somehow they seem to make the public absolutely fall in love with that character. And I am
Yeah, but it's like
convinced. I'm I'm absolutely convinced you will never ever see another series of movies that I don't want to say perfect because they weren't perfect, but they're as close to perfect as you can get. Right, the feels were there at the end, and that's simply a culmination of everything you had been watching for
yeah,
years. Right, so
yeah,
in
like
that
they did.
regard, it was perfect.
Yeah, it's like they did an excellent job. It's like Iron Man hit, and that was probably more popular than they thought. Them doing that post credit teaser of Sam Jackson mentioned the Avengers Initiative. If that movie would have failed, that would have just been, it's like, oh, that was cool, he mentioned that, and then that was it. But because that movie took off and then mentioning that at the end, it was like, oh, it was like, well, people seem to be really clinging to this. So all right, so let's try something. And they threw a lot of stuff on the wall that more or less stuck. And then it was able to get it all the way up to the end with Endgame, and that worked out. And that the success of all of that stuff changed how Hollywood was doing other things. Warner Brothers, I remember reading an interview, so somebody asked them about it, and they were like, "Well, they're doing successful, and we're going to go our own way." And then, sure enough, they tried to rush to do something similar to link all of that stuff. Then it's like some of the other studios like, oh, we're gonna have a monster verse and we're gonna do like Dracula and the werewolf
Oh
and the
yeah,
mummy and they're gonna
yeah,
and they
I
fumbled the
remember
bag
that.
on that stuff. So it's like, yeah, so all of those other studios and even to this day are still trying to build some kind of linking universes where they can throw like 9 or 10 movies for a long string of time together and they still ain't been able to do it. Now the flip side of that, all of that comic book success is I don't think these movies have made a lot of people go and buy any comic books. So it's just like you saw those movies and then you just look to the movies or whatever shows up on Disney Plus and then that's it. It was like I don't think folks are going out there reading nothing or buying a slew of stuff. I don't think they was hitting the comic book stores like that, which is kind of wild because it don't work that way in reverse, where people that was reading comic books for years then go see these movies to more or less either enjoy or complain about them. And then folks see the movies, they don't go to the comic book stores and pick nothing up.
I mean,
Or very few, I would say.
I would agree with that somewhat, but again, I didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy were. I was like, what is
Yeah.
this BS that's about to come out with this raccoon? And ended up ended up really liking their story, and they were kind of funny but not ridiculous. And
Yeah.
at the same
And
time, like they had that perfect blend of comedy and action and seriousness, which was really well done. And then they just went stupid
like
after that with
uh,
Phase 4 and everything else after that. So
yeah, like Guardians, I feel like at least the first one, or the first couple of movies in there, they were like a dysfunctional family. And it just went, blowing stuff up. And that the formula just seemed to work for them and for those
yeah,
movies. Now, what Marvel has done with after the Infinity Saga has been all over the place. And it just seemed like Thunderbolts was kind of a course correction because that movie was fun to watch. So we'll see. if Fantastic Four is the same, and it's just fun to watch and move their story forward to where they're trying to go with these other things or not. But it's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
So
we'll see.
that has absolutely nothing to do with video games and movies, which is what I was supposed to be talking about. And I'm sorry, everyone,
Well,
because I got off track
it's
talking
all
about
good.
Marvel. I told you I'm not responsible. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get us back on track here. So video
It's
game
somewhat
movies.
adjacent. Video game movies are a whole other thing because most of them have just been bad.
Ass. Ass.
They've just been bad.
Whole
Just
bag of ass.
like the shows have been good, but movies have been bad. Like Fallout was
Terrible.
good.
Fallout is great. That's
Fallout's good.
those are few and far between.
Last of Us
Assassin's
was
Creed, but
that was terrible.
absolutely but.
That was
What's
terrible.
another one?
What else?
What's another video game movie that came out? What's the
Way
one is
back, the Super Mario Brothers movie from way
oh
back.
my god.
That
What's
was
the
terrible.
one where the kid is like he's like Indiana Jones?
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that was
No.
bad.
I mean, yeah, that's it, but yeah, no. Minecraft was decent. So you have a few
Oh, you did
standouts,
see
but
Minecraft?
yeah.
You saw Minecraft?
Yeah, I saw Minecraft. It was good. It was good. I was surprised. Right? I only went because my son was like, "Daddy, can we go?" And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"God damn it." Yep, I guess. So, yes, I took him, and it was actually pretty good. It was funny. It was enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna win no awards, but it didn't feel like a complete waste of time. Dennis Wright. I'm sorry, not Dennis Wright. Frog's Life said, what did y'all feel about The Witcher? I love Witcher. The Witcher was amazing.
Yeah, The Witcher.
That was real. That was really well done.
It's like I'm still waiting for them to drop the other part where they've replaced Henry Cavill with Chris Hemsworth's brother. I'm still waiting for Netflix to drop that season because I just want to see what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
The Witcher was good.
I enjoy The Witcher. I really don't care who plays The Witcher. I don't know why people get caught up on shit like that. Like if the story is good, then it doesn't matter, right? Did you like Henry Cavill? Yeah, he was good, right? But
Yeah,
did you?
It was good. It was like I'm curious, just more like because sometimes when you change an actor, sometimes the actor will want to go and it's like, hey, I kind of want to. I'm gonna, play this character, but I want to add my own spin. I'm gonna give him a limp, and I'm gonna go just like, and I'm gonna give him half of a broken British accent or something like that. So I'm just curious of his portrayal. It was like, instead, as long as the story's good, then I'm fine. But it's like, as long as he don't do nothing weird with the character. But it was like I'm just want to see the rest of it. It was like ultimately just give me the rest of it and let's go from there. What else? What was I going to ask you? Oh, did your son make you see the Sonic movies?
Yeah. Yep. Saw. I saw those. Sure did. Yeah. So I don't know. They were okay. My son dragged me to that shit too. But I watched it. It was decent. You know what I'm saying? They weren't bad. Nina clearly likes The Witcher, as she says, because Henry Cavill is fine AF. I'm gonna need you to keep it in your pants, right? Because apparently she likes very large white dudes with long white hair whose eyes can turn black and do magic. So I guess that's her type.
There's no kink shame in here, Nina. You love who you love.
Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You want to see somebody slay some monsters and then just court you.
Take a bath. Then go ahead.
Don't worry, Nina. I'll take care of these monsters. That's fine. I'm not no judgment. No judgment. That's all good. Why don't you give me another hero that's straight out of video games, good or bad?
What the Nina gonna like with long hair? Or
anybody. If you could think of one that was out there that was decent. Oh my God, Mortal Kombat. Oh my God.
Terrible. I hated myself watching it.
Jesus.
It was just ugh.
That and Street Fighter are probably the two worst adaptations for video games that I had ever seen in my life. In my entire goddamn life. I have never seen anything that bad.
I never saw Street Fighter because I saw the trailer and I was like, no, this is
Yeah, it
not
was
like
terrible.
I'm just
It was
beating up some
terrible.
guys in the street. I was like, why is
Tomb
Jean-Claude
Raider.
Van Damme playing the American one? Tomb Raider was not great, but I didn't mind looking at Angelina Jolie, kind of similar on the lines of Nina with Henry Cavill.
Y'all are messed up, man. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be looking at these movies for entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
I was entertained. I was
Y'all just
entertained.
looking at these movies with dirty minds, bad intentions, and I don't know what's going on there. You know, Tomb Raider was good. Prince of Persia was bad. Raul Julia as M. Bison. Listen, I like Raul Julia. Okay, he did the best he could, but everybody in that movie deserved a demerit. Okay, they deserved a smack on the back of the hand. They was terrible. That movie was awful, awful,
Yeah.
just bad. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody should have had to watch that.
Tech, I couldn't get past like from the games and M. Bison beating my ass to me finally overcoming him and then seeing Raul Julia supposed to be playing the same character. Couldn't do it. My younger mind could not handle that. You know, that dichotomy of those two characters. I was like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't separate it. And
Yeah.
it's like I know a lot of people saw it, said that he did a fine job. It was fun campiness, but nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
the casting was weird. Like Guile. Guile is an American Air Force soldier. They went and got goddamn Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay, what are we doing, people? Huh? That's where you started messing up right there. He is not in the American Air Force. He don't even sound like he is. So I don't even understand what we're doing at this point. Okay, and he doing karate. Like we didn't do karate in the military. It was just I don't know. We didn't do karate in the military. we we didn't do razor kicks. They didn't teach us how to do razor kicks in the military. Okay, so
y'all
yeah, there's none of that.
Falling off then. Training was just falling off. So yeah, like the only Street Fighter movie that I saw that was good was the animated one, and that was it. I was like, that was fine. That was like, and I was like, all right, well, at least they fighting in the street, so I'll give it that. So, but
Silent Hill is a good one. I'm gonna tell you right now that scared the absolute crap out of me when that dude grabbed that lady's skin on her chest and just ripped her skin off like it was a jacket. That messed me up, boy. I was like, Jesus. So, yeah, that was pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with that. So, yeah, those are good. Typically, video game movies don't turn out. Typically, occasionally you'll find a good one. There's a new one that just came out. Dust to Dawn. Now, I haven't seen that yet. The video game was pretty good. If you're not familiar with Dust to Dawn, it is a game. It's with it's actually you just make decisions, right? The game is happening in front of you. You're watching, and then in a split second, you'll have to make a decision.
That Until Dawn or whatever it was.
Yeah, Dust to Dawn, and you have to figure out what to do in certain situations. And if so, you're with a cast of I think it's like 8 or 9 characters, and they're all together. And if that character dies, then they're dead for the rest of that I don't know experiment, I guess. So you can start over and then get those people back, but for the rest of your game, that person is dead. So yeah, Borderlands I heard was awful as well. What you got?
I think even the actors felt like you looking at the trailer and you look out at the actors' eyes and they're all dead inside, like and they can't believe they're in this movie. I don't know why I'm doing it, and they didn't promote it. So yeah, it was like that just looked bad, and it's like I was never really a fan of the games. Like I played some of the first one, I think, and it was like I was like, all right, but then it was just like you're just looking at it, and it was just like this movie is This movie does not look good. Does
Yeah,
not look good at all.
no,
And
none of them,
it's just
none
one
of
of the
them.
things in the trailer.
Yep.
Doom with the Rock. Yeah, Tech. That was another one. It was terrible.
You ain't like that?
Oh
You ain't like
no.
Doom?
It was just awful. It was just bad. Just so bad.
It was. It
Oh,
was bad. Oh, GTA! I forgot about that. That's recent. Wait,
GTA
no.
movie?
No. My bad.
Yeah,
Not
uh,
GTA.
Nina, yeah.
It
Nina had a
was.
question. She was like, Nina's asking, do you think they will ever make a GTA movie? Nina, if they're smart, no, they will not go near me.
No.
It was like if
Because
you play
somebody
the
going.
storyline of you play the storyline of the GTA game, somebody did probably on YouTube somewhere and cut all those cutscenes together, and you could probably watch that as a nice little movie. And I suggest to do
Yeah.
that. If you haven't played those games.
Look at Lisa right
Beautiful.
here. I want a Gears of War movie. What you know about Gears of War, Lisa? Huh? That's what I'm talking about. I love me some Gears.
Woodwork. Like, I think
What's
they're
going
working on
on
it.
here?
I think they're working on it.
I got
Matt Payne. Tech is
I got
coming out.
GTA. I got GTA confused with Gran Turismo. They did a
Oh,
Gran Turismo movie. But
yeah,
that was
they
like
did.
a actual true story, I
Yeah, that
guess.
was based on a true story or something, which I was shocked by. But it's like Tech coming out with Max Payne. Yeah, they did that. That was a mistake. It's like that was also terrible. Yeah, like that was not good.
uh Last of Us. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, Last
Fletch,
of Us
who
is
is
good.
on Discord, and by the way, you can join Discord as well. It's free. Don't cost you nothing. We just get on there every day, talk about movies, and I will respond even when I'm at work. We'll just be talking about movies. I don't know what they be doing all day with their work schedule, right? But I get on there during the day and be responding to people who are talking about shows at 9 a.m. I'm talking about people about that. So join the Discord. We just be hanging out. It's for fun. You can bring up whatever show you want. I will make a channel specifically for the show that you want to talk about. And also like, share, subscribe. Join the. I can't even talk now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and we'd really appreciate some help. So, all right, back at it. I'm gonna.
Castlevania was a good adaptation. It's like it's animated, but those shows they did an excellent job with that adaptation for some video games.
Rampage.
I was surprised by Rampage. Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible. It was like Rampage, just video game with big monsters fight, and then plus now it's a movie with big monsters fight plus The Rock. And I was just like, all right. I was like, I'm gonna need The Rock to sit down, take a
Yeah.
beat.
So, again, that just goes to show you there's not a lot there, right? And you have free reign with movies like that, right? Because you can literally write whatever you want. Because some of these video games they don't come with any story. Like you could do with Rampage. Rampage was a game about monsters just destroying buildings. That was it.
It was like,
That was it.
Now you got The Rock got a pet, and his pet gets big, or whatever the hell was going on there. And it was like, this is not the Rampage I want to see. The Rampage I want to see is basically a Godzilla movie with no people in it, and just let them fight.
It's terrible.
Just let them fight.
Terrible. Whatever. All right. So we have been on this subject long enough. Again, trying to be responsible, trying to do what she would do. What would she do? She would tell me to shut up and move on. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do. All right. Next topic. You have stated many times that you hate sequels and prequels and find them unnecessary to Hollywood's arsenal. Regarding Star Wars, do you feel that the Empire and the Jedi were so unneeded? What? Regarding Star Wars, do you feel the Empire and Jedi were also unneeded? Are there any other sequels, prequels that you find acceptable? Peter, what's happening, my boy? All right, you go ahead.
I know with your sequel and prequel hate, it was like I think this question came up more. It was like you like Star Wars and Empire and Jedi being sequels. So your sequel prequel hate, is it specific to just if the story is terrible, or do you not like Empire and Jedi?
I I like not knowing whether or not the protagonist is going to die. Right. There's some genuine fear there, right? Like in The Last of Us. I didn't know, I mean, well, through playing the game, I knew that Joel was going to die, right? But you watching it at home, never experiencing this, you've watched Joel die, right? Now you don't know if Ellie is capable of dying, right?
Mm,
Which gives you that fear, gives you that anxiety. Every time she gets in a situation where she could be killed, right? You're on the edge of your seat, right? But if I know she makes it to the next movie or show, then there's no anxiety. Like, oh, she's good. I'll turn it off. I'll go to the store or something. I know she's gonna live through it. There's nothing. There's nothing that's going. There's nothing that's going to happen to her. So yeah, I
all
don't.
right,
I don't
so
like that kind. That's the only reason.
all right, so for you then, for like sequels, like prequels notwithstanding, so for sequels for you, it's more that if you're doing the second movie, it's like it's not knowing if this is going to be it for say that lead character or one member of say that character's group or something.
Yeah, I
So, like
mean,
for example, like with Mission Impossible, technically there's no reason they would have to do as many sequels as they did. So, in theory, each one of those movies could have been the last one because they never announced that. Oh, Mission Impossible 4, and we're going to give up Mission Impossible 5. They didn't announce anything until later. So you were fine with those sequels as they went. So for
yeah,
you, it's kind of more of a suspense thing where if you don't know there's going to be a trilogy of movies behind it, then it's fine,
right.
or it's
So
easier to.
taking your same movie, Mission Impossible. I don't know because they're getting closer to the end, right?
Mm,
They may decide to kill off one or two characters, right? Characters that we've cared about this entire time, right?
mm,
And I'm wondering, is it going to be Luther? Is it going to be I can't remember the other character, the
Benji.
dead Denji, yeah. Is it going to be him? So
Mm,
they've already killed off the one his love interest in the last movie. And she did that because she said she was tired of waiting for for the movie to come up. She said it would take so long for the movie to start. So she wanted out. So they did
right.
her in, which I'm fine with, right? But you don't know who's going to
It's like
get it.
mhm.
So
So
that's
yeah,
just
that's like
that's
I
just
said,
me.
I was
That's
just curious because like prequels I can understand your point with some of them, especially when you're saying the suspense stuff because you don't know. Like, I think Andor was a good example of how to do a prequel because you introduced a bunch of other characters and where you know that he made it and you were getting to the point where he got from the start of that show to the beginning of Rogue One, all those other characters around him, you didn't necessarily know what happened to them. So it was one of those things. It was like, all right, because these were not other characters they mentioned in Star Wars, except for Mon Mothma, there was not other characters you just see in Star Wars later. So it made sense where it's like, oh damn, Lucian, you gonna get out? Nope. It's like, oh, so and so, you gonna get out? Nope. So it's like I think that made sense. So I think Andor was a good example of how to do a prequel. For some others, I don't think everybody's going to take that hint and do them that way. But I would think that was how you would do one if you're going to do it. So I get. So I was like I said, I wanted to understand your sequel prequel
Yeah, you can
dislike.
keep prequels. You can keep prequels.
Right.
I'm not even gonna hide it. I don't care. I don't like prequels. Okay, you messing it up. You messing up the game. Okay, you messing up the game. People want suspense. They want to feel that suspense. They want to feel that rush of of anguish, of fear. That's why you go to the movies, right? You get all these emotions. But if I know your ass is making it to episode 3, like I'm not afraid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid. I can go get popcorn. I can just go get a soda. right? I don't need to watch because I know you made it. Okay, shoo, you made
All right.
it.
So
You did it.
so go back. So going back sequel wise, when Infinity War ended, when Thanos basically won, he snapped his fingers and the movie went on. I was like, how did you feel after you had saw that?
So pissed because I didn't know that it was. I didn't know there was a 2 movie thing. I didn't know it was a 2 movie deal, right? Nobody told me. I didn't know, right? All I know was that I was looking at my watch, and I was like, "It's getting late, right, in this movie, right? Ain't nobody been saved yet." And then it hit me with the to be continued, and I was like, "Ah, I didn't know this. I did not know this." So, uh, some people are looking for my sister. My sister is away on a business trip, doing important things, doing big time stuff. She didn't have time to be on this
Work
raggedy
sagging.
show with me. She chose to be away.
It's
So, I mean, that's fine. It's all good. She trusted me to carry on without her, and carry on we shall. Talking about these shows and such. I'm trying to do the best job I can. Hope you're proud of me. Moving on. So what did you think? How did you feel about
Infinity War?
the end of Infinity War? Were you looking forward to Endgame? Were you upset? Were you sad?
No, because comic books, and I knew where it was going. So it's like I had already known. It was like also the curse of just kind of following movie production and stuff, and knowing people sign contracts to do other stuff. So I had already knew where it was going, but my enjoyment came from like when I saw Infinity War with my brother, and that ended, and other people around us in the movie, and it would start, the credits rolled, and then everybody was like, "The F? What is this? All these people is dead?" And then it was like after, since of course after Black Panther came out and everybody T'Challa and everything, and he faded into dust, people was like, "What? Oh no, what's going on?" So my enjoyment came from that. It was definitely a Game of Thrones red wedding situation where I was looking around for people that was upset, and I had already know what was going on and kind of knew what was coming. I enjoyed the ride, but my most of my enjoyment came from other folks watching it. So I was cool
Yeah,
because I knew that it was all coming back.
yeah. Dennis Wright said,
I
"I
enjoyed
read
it
the
was coming.
comics. The execution was great, though. It was great
Right.
because they took liberty with changing a few things around. They didn't put death in the movie, which is why Thanos. For anyone who did not know, in the comic, Thanos did what he did to impress Death. He was in love with Death. Now I don't know what he saw in
Right.
Death because she was
I don't know
just a
what he saw
robe
either.
and bones.
And bones, and it's like, and
But
I don't know how that movie would have worked out. It's like, all right, so he's doing all this because he ended in love with death, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't know how that would have. I don't. I
he
don't know how
was
that would have flew.
he
I don't
was
know how that
after
would flew.
Death hard. He was trying to smash every page. He was trying to get after, right? And she didn't want nothing to do with him. Now, I want you to think about that. You're a
Trying to
god.
own them
You
bones,
you you
and
are a titan, right? And you hitting on what used to be a woman in robes who is now bones, right? And all she do is usher people from one life to another. And she said no to you. She absolutely turned you down, right? I don't know how I would take that. You know what I'm saying? If I get rejected by bones, my boy,
not
like
even
it's
that.
time to
It's like
rethink some stuff. You know?
he was like, I killed half the universe for you, and she was like, Psh, sorry, I'm
Yep.
still.
But it
He was
was
like, what?
yeah, it was a lot darker too. A lot darker. They
Yeah.
I think he turned Thor back human. They were fighting in space, and they turned Thor back into a
Mm,
regular person while he was in space and he couldn't breathe. I think they ripped off
yeah.
Iron Man's head. It was dark. It was really
It
really
was,
dark.
it was
So I liked this route that they took.
yeah, they made changes for the better, and it was definitely, it's like, oh, okay. And then Thanos kind of had some points here. It was like, I'm mad if I'm the person that dusted away, but at the same time, it's like, I like to subscribe to your newsletter.
All right. So, yeah. Um, I don't even think that's what
We
we were
did.
supposed to be talking about. We were supposed to be talking about Jedi. Regarding Star Wars, do you feel the Empire and Jedi were also unneeded? We did not talk about no
Yeah.
goddamn Jedi. So,
Yeah,
yeah, you go ahead. You go
we
ahead
answered
and
the
wrap this up.
Yeah, we answered the question. It was like they were fine. It was like, those sequels, at least at that point, it was like they was new to me. It was like I didn't know. Like I saw Star Wars, I thought that was it. Then I saw like a TV trailer or something for The Empire Strikes Back, and I was like, "What? They coming back?" I was like, "I'll go see this." And then the end of Empire, and I was like, "What? That's it?" It was like, so they just lost. It was like this is kind of whack. And then it's like you saw Return of the Jedi came out. It was like, oh yay! And then they wrapped it up, and little kid me was more or less fine. It was like the older I got, the less I like Return of the Jedi. But it was like other than that, it was like I was cool. So it was like sequels was new to me at that point. I'm old and jaded now. Not as old as Chris, but I'm old and jaded now. So it was like everything is, kind of like you. Certain things, if I know a character's coming out of it, the story just better be good. So because you're gonna get me to that point where I know hero A is not getting killed. So
So there have always been certain parts, I think, in movies, and um, my wife knows too. Well, like when I see something that I really, really like in a movie or a show, I'll just keep rewinding it, and it pisses her off because I'm never finishing that show, right? Because I'll just keep going back. Like when Harry in Mobland, he says something and like he puts his serious face on. I'll just keep rewinding it because he looks deadly serious. And for me, it's all about the little nuances of every little thing, right? What the other person's face looked like when they said it, like how serious he was, the tone of his voice, all this stuff that I really enjoy. And for me, if I'm being honest, I think the best part of Return of the Jedi had nothing to do with Jedi at all. My favorite part had to be the beginning of the run inside of the Death Star with the Millennium Falcon and two X-wing fighters. That even today, even today is like the best part of that entire movie. Right? They hit the middle of the uh the Death Star and then they hit whatever that middle thing is and then they got to run away from that fire. Son, there was nothing better than that. Nothing. Every time I feel like they're gonna get caught. Every single time I watch, get out of y'all gotta go. Right? Y'all ain't gonna make it. So
the best
that
part
to
of
me,
Jedi is that was a
no,
good
you got
one.
it.
I think the best part of me for Jedi was it's something that you don't see in the TV cuts now, and I even think they took it out later. But in the theater, when they came out of hyperspace and was pulling up on the Death Star, they were like, "Oh, the shield's still active. Pull up," and it was trying to pull up. They showed you the other ships that didn't pull up in time, slamming against that shield for the Death Star. And then for me, seeing that, I was like, "Oh, there's really stakes to this because this is definitely not like the first time they did this." So it's like, and I think that was when I was like really at least locked in for the Death Star battle stuff. I was locked in for that because I was like, damn, the Millennium Falcon could have slammed into that shield or Wedge could have died. So then I was locked in for the rest of that part.
Wedge. Look at you using names. Such a nerd. I'm just kidding.
I remember stuff sometimes.
I do. I remember his name too. Gold Leader and all of them. So, all right. So I've done everything that I was supposed to do tonight. Okay, to be responsible. It's a trap. I love that. Nice job. I like that. Many Bothans died to bring us this information. That's Mon Mothma. You don't know nothing about that. Anyway, moving on. I really enjoy doing this with you guys, man. I love hanging out with you guys. Please join us Thursday as we discuss more about. We're going to talk about Mobland and Last of Us, and which I wanted to talk about tonight, but we're gonna stick to our schedule. I gotta find something else for us to talk about on Sunday because one of them shows is over. But again, my sister will still be out of town, and we are going to we are going to find something to talk about. So again, thank you for hanging out with us. We love y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Casanova, you got anything?
No, this was fun. Like looking for more shows. It's like, check out Duster, check out Murderbot. Those are actually pretty good. They might be something that you might want to add to talk to. Remember, I think there's some stuff that's dropping in early June. So you have that and Mission Impossible this weekend. So don't forget to check that out. Well, that's all I
Oh,
got.
I'm sorry. My sister will be here Thursday. So, yay. Yay for that. Can't wait for you to come back. I love you.
Hey, she'll be back.
I'm
Hey.
I am currently watching something Bone. I can't remember. Shadow Bone. Shadow Bone. That is on Netflix. It is about mages and like people I don't know. Some dude he's king of the shadows or something. And some woman they've been waiting for her like 1,000 years to be like the bearer of light or something. It's good. Okay, just why I don't know how to describe it. It's good.
She brings them bones.
Yep.
From the shadows.
So, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine. So again, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about the show, man, and come join us on Thursday. We'll be talking about your favorite shows, favorite movies, all that other stuff. We're on the way to 2,000, and Casanova, I feel like
Yeah.
I appreciate you hanging out. Hope you come back Thursday, and yeah, you got anything?
Chris will be back, so we'll see about Thursday. We'll
Oh,
talk.
that's right. That's right. All right, man. You know what I'm saying? That's cool.
Yeah,
All right,
so,
y'all be
yeah.
good. I'll holla.
Take it easy, everybody.